My friends won't invite me out because of my boyfriend. My boyfriend, 25 meters, and I, 23F, have been together for over a year, and whenever his friends invite him over, it's not even a question. I'm always invited by them. His friends are mostly girls and they have their boyfriends over. We all play games and make dinner together or just enjoy a nice day at the beach or park. On the other hand, since the beginning of us dating, my girlfriends from my hometown, we all live in the same city now, have not been the slightest bit welcoming. There is always underhanded comments made as his expense. They say, we are just joking around, but I can tell at the end of the day he feels uncomfortable. And I'm overprotective, so the girls and I have gotten into multiple fights about this. He has been so kind to them. He's taken one of the girls' car into the shop for 3 days, so he switched cars so her car can pass smog. He drives us wherever we want to go and doesn't complain cause he wants me to have these friendships that I've had in my life since I was in middle school. When they do invite me out, they always ask me to come alone. I understand a girls' night every once in a while, but every single time this is asked, he tells me to go. He doesn't mind, but I'm all honesty, I love to have him around. He makes everyone laugh, and I can't shake that his friends have been so welcoming and respectful to me. I don't understand why the girls can't just do the same. Anything that we talk about doesn't change when he's around. If anything, the girls get dating advice from a male's perspective. This has caused me to pull away from them, which makes me sad, but watching my boyfriend feel bad about himself because he can't figure out what he did wrong just fuels me to feel disgusted too. Think about giving them the time of day. Is there anything I can do to bring everyone together, or is this just another case of outgrowing your hometown friends? Have you asked your friends what's up with this? Emo. There are 2 different types of hangouts. There are mixed gender group hangouts, where everyone and everyone's partners are invited. And then there are specific hangouts with girlfriends. If these are big mixed gender group hangouts with your girlfriends and their partners, I would definitely be offended my boyfriend was not invited and talk to them about it. Boot. If what you are talking about is just hanging out with your girlfriends and not their partners, then I think it's weird of you to expect to bring your boyfriend. It's cool to have separate friends and friend groups. Plus, I would be a bit annoyed if one friend randomly brought her boyfriend to a girls' night. Like, it changes the dynamic and conversation topics and everything. Are your friends bringing their partners around and specifically telling you not to? Or when you bring him, is it just you, your girlfriends, and he's just tagging along? I've definitely been annoyed when a friend brought their boyfriend to something when the rest of us left ours at home. So the 2 options are force them to be friends, or no longer see those girls. Can they just not want to hang out with him? What is the problem with keeping those relationships separate? This isn't a case of outgrowing your hometown friends. It's a case of differences in group dynamics. For if invites include +1s, neither group is right or wrong. His friends' group dynamic is invites include +1s. This is a fairly standard practice in groups where most people in the group are couples. Your friends are not including +1s in invites, which is also a standard practice, often in groups where all members are the same gender. Your GFs have been trying to politely communicate this with you, but you are failing to get the hint. The key to navigating this is clarity and communication. The person hosting or offering the invite typically gets to set the rules. It's not impolite to ask if significant others are included. The one thing you want to avoid is some people bringing +1s with others not thinking their +1s are invited. Do your hometown friends have boyfriends? And if so, are their boyfriends going to these outings? I personally don't think it's necessary to be friends and hang out with your partner's friends all the time. It's cool that your boyfriend's friends invite you along. But I don't think it's nuts that your friends don't. Especially if it's a girls' night. I, 43F, have a friend who was always bringing her husband along. Invited or not. We all liked him well enough, but when we planned a ladies' lunch or night out and she'd show up with him, it changed the whole dynamic. We finally quit inviting her unless it was something where we were all bringing our partners too. Because she just wouldn't stop forcing her husband on us. It's not cool that they're not kind to him, and it's not cool that you are using him. So you make him come to girl-only outings? I'd be annoyed too if I was your friend. Honestly, if none of the girls in the group have boyfriends, I could see why they wouldn't want him to tag along. It'd kind of feel like he's intruding on girls' time. Do you have any friends in relationships too? Once I started dating my partner, I have found that I kind of have 4 different hangouts with friends. Just me and a friend. 2 people. Just me and a group of friends. No partners. A big group of friends including a mix of single people and coupled people. Some of whom bring their partners, but there are multiple single people. Or people who didn't bring their partners. And no one is made to feel like they're third or fifth wheeling a double or quadruple date. Hang out with another friend and their partner, or even multiple couples, but everyone is coupled off. Even if it's not a date activity and more of a hangout. No one is without their partner. Having a mix is good. And sometimes that may mean having different circles of friends to achieve this mix. It doesn't mean you have to lose your current friends. They just may be better suited for the first or second type of friend hangout. I get it, I wouldn't want to hang out with my GFSBF when I'm trying to have girl time. From the perspective of someone who is single but has a best friend in a relationship. WTF would I want to hang out with him unless it's a specific group outing? I'm her friend, not his. He doesn't have anything to do with me. The worst kind of friend is the one who feels like she always has to bring her man to every outing. They're definitely assholes for trashing your man. But I'd go out on a limb and say they probably only do it cause they're tired of him tagging along. Bringing your so to a girl's outing. 'Cause if you're all the same gender, it's always a girl's outing. When no one asked you to is like that friend who has to bring their younger sibling to every hangout. No one wants him there. And they are allowed that. At the end of the day, they are your friend's op, not his. Honestly, I'm sympathetic to your friends, as you know they're uncomfortable with him being there, and yet you keep making them, and presumably also your boyfriend, uncomfortable by bringing him along. I'd respect their wishes and leave him at home personally. Mom here. I have a daughter about your age. My advice? Don't be that person who brings her BF everywhere. Obviously, if you're hanging with the girls, it's a girls' outing. Boys aren't included. None of your GFs are bringing guys along. So just go out with your friends for your girls' get-together time. Inviting him along isn't cool. Don't be that person who brings their BF to everything. Can't stand it when I want to hang out with a friend and she brings her BF. Changes the whole entire dynamic and makes me think they're codependent. I've actually dumped a very good friend because she always brought her BF along. It's like, you live together. You see each other all the time. I'm asking for 2 hours and I see you maybe once every 3 or 4 months. It's aggravating, and one day I decided I would rather focus on other friends who didn't do this. It's simple. You and your girlfriends had a dynamic before he came along. Now that he is here and hangs out most of the time with y'all, it's disrupted. Some of them probably feel like they can't talk about certain things when he's there. Plus, it's just different. I love my boyfriend, but sometimes I just go out with my girlfriends. Don't be that friend who got a boyfriend and now can't go anywhere without him. Just talk with your friends and ask them why they don't want him to hang out with y'all every time. So from reading your replies to comments, it really just seems your single friends want you to hang out with just you. I wouldn't say they're excluding your BF as much as they maybe don't want to be reminded that they're single. Plus, since they are all single, every time you hang out with them is a girls only hangout. I'd bet money if they really are your friends, the moment more of them have BFs, you'll probably have couple hangouts with them and your BF. People in similar situations tend to stick to people in similar situations. At the same time, people at different life stages grow apart. I grew apart from my childless friends when I had kids. I don't want them to have to hang out with kids when they're really there to hang out with just me. Same with single friends and friends in a relationship. They don't want the relationship part included. We're all still friends now, but some don't have kids still. But since we're all old, it doesn't really matter. If I'm with my group of girlfriends, I don't want their one random BF to tag along. I wouldn't want my husband there if it was just my girlfriends. Yes, if it's couples, but no if it's just girls. Why do you feel it necessary to have him there? It's kind of weird. TBH. It's not as much outgrowing them as being at different places in your lives. It gets worse when the pairing off transitions to marriage and kids. Not too uncommon for your age group to have members of friend groups change their involvement in those groups due to being in those different places. At some point you would hope your friends find SOs and their focus will shift also. This has caused me to pull away from them, which makes me sad, but watching my boyfriend feel bad about himself because he can't figure out what he did wrong just fuels me to feel disgusted too. Think about giving them the time of day. That's not good. If they were truly that awful to him, that's not only a sign they disrespect him but also of disrespecting you. I wouldn't recommend totally cutting them off, but for sure it's time to start being selective of the invites you accept. Accept the ones for the BBQs. If it doesn't conflict with BF's friends' BBQs, reject the ones to go clubbing. I think you are in different phases of your life. Your friends are still in the party phase, and you have made the decision to be in an exclusive relationship. I would advise not getting tied to them and being able to walk away and not staying out all night with them, and guard your drink. I have seen too many young ladies talked into doing something they shouldn't and ending a really good relationship on a girls' night out. Honestly, as a guy I'd be stoked to not have to hang around my girlfriend's friends all the time and be able to do something else. Once in a while is fun, but all the time? Nah, they're her friends, not mine.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.